What's going on, everybody? Travis with REC Garage, and this this video, we're going to be finishing the 37, I believe. Just mounted the front end up. There's a couple missing brackets. That's why there's like a gap over there between the hood and the hood side. I'm just going to do a little walk around and check what I need to do, what might need to be addressed that I missed. I know I worked from front to back before I got to the rear panel, but I'm going to do it again, analyzing and looking at every little thing, seeing if I missed something. So what I found so far, so here's the deal. Okay. Not going to really mess with the doors. They shut and everything, but there's some hardware that he doesn't have yet, and we'll kind of either mess with that together, or when he builds a structure for the rear door and it comes back, we'll kind of do every door at the same time. Not too sure. I don't really think it matters. We'll get it figured out. But like all the panels and all these things, I don't need to be getting it fitting perfectly. My job was to do the metalwork. I did most of the metalwork. Still got to come back for a couple things, but at this point in time, he can kind of take it, do like assembly and make things fit the way they should. I don't need to be a part of that. That's going to waste too much of his money, because it's easy, but it just takes a long time. So it's something he can do after work. And like this back door, for instance, he's going to make the wood that goes around it, and on the inside of these side panels here, and then we will make the inner structure, because that, once he gets that done, that'll kind of tell us where the handle and latch will live, and where these hinges will be. I'm not touching this because I'm assuming that this will kind of stay in the same place. When we're saving the middle one, the bottom one, who knows, they might change. I don't see how they will, but I just want to be safe. The only thing I really need to do right now is make floor braces for the seat to bolt onto, and to kind of strengthen that front floor there, because it's kind of, I don't know, it says oil cans for some reason. There's beads in it, but it's still like kind of kind of flimsy, if you know what I'm talking about. So I'll kind of put the seat where it's comfortable for me, because he's also pretty much just as tall as me. So wherever I fit comfortably, I'm sure he will fit comfortably also. And then I will mark the floor where the seat wants to live, make a brace, kind of put it under there, tack it there quick, and the seat should be kind of all set. What else? I think I need to put a little strip here, so when this goes in, it will slip underneath my little strap I'm going to weld here. I'll go underneath that and then bolt down. Front end's all set. Yeah, it's, you know, just a couple little things, and then I'm going to wire wheel all of my metalwork that I have done, and I'm going to hit it in some self-etch just to keep it from rusting, because there's a couple places I've like touched and it's starting to rust. It's just what happens with bare metal, and when you're in New England and it's humid as hell. So yeah, might weld up a few Cleco holes too, just kind of bunch of little things. So it's going to be a lot of time lapse today. I'm sure it's kind of the same as it's usually been for the past few videos, but I'm a working man now. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of looking it over while I'm on camera, kind of so you can see what I'm looking at too. These are ugly. I don't know what's going on here, but it ain't pretty. Bunch of lead in this thing too. Yeah, I don't know. I'll try to mess with these. Melt it out and maybe weld this panel, this little header, because this is part of the pillar. So it comes up and it should weld to this. I don't know why it's not. So I'll probably do that. Maybe tack this rain gutter to it too. Or cut it off. It looks like this was an afterthought. Anyway. Yeah, I might just cut that off. Let me look on the other side and see if it's similar. Yeah, it's already cut off. Yeah, it seems to me like that was an afterthought. So we're just gonna cut it off, and you can see it's welded there. So can I reach the back side of it? No, I cannot reach the back side. So I'll weld it up, but I cannot reach the back side. There's like steel structure behind there. So I'll just weld that up along with this too. That should be welded up. So yeah, I guess I'll deal with these corners, build the seat braces for the floor. There's a couple patches, not patches, but areas in the trunk behind here that kind of go down into the two panels. That should be the floor, so I'll make two little pieces there. That should kind of finish up that trunk area. And yeah, that should be it for this video. All right, so I'm going to try to get this seat in place. I just took care of cracks on these corners, both of those, and that's all set now. Let me try and put the seat where it belongs. Now see how comfortable. See, all that popping is what I want to get rid of. Pop, pop. Shouldn't do that. But you know, this floor was a pre-made floor. That's what I'll blame it on. Ooh, I forgot. I think this was the issue that we ran into before. The seat hits the cast iron braces on the bottom. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess I'll put it right before it. See how comfy that is. Well, that's tight. He might have to build, or we might have to, I might have to do it. A different seat. That's not me. That's not me. Building a different seat frame, huh? Yeah, that's not what I get into. Because it needs to, the seat needs to go all the way back to that riser that's back there. And it just can't. Wood's hitting that. Okay, so, well, can't do anything until I talk to him, see what he wants to do. But for now, let's do those pieces in the rear, get that buttoned up so we can forget about that. Alright, so I told you guys I was going to work on that. I actually worked on the seat. So I just took these sides off and then it fit. So he's going to have to modify this wood and upholstery to fit, but without those, I think it really just needs to be cut under here. This is where it attaches to the bottom of the seat, and there's this overhang. I think just cut that off and it should fit fine. So I marked out and drilled little pilot holes for now where the seat's going to go, and I'm going to put, this is a test piece with these riv nuts I had. So I'm going to put a strip of this from front to back on each side, just to kind of have a stronger piece of metal and more surface area gripping the floor. And then I'll go into there and, you know, tack it in a bunch of places to the floor. But I did a couple test runs. So this is the first one I did. I just drilled it out, put the riv nut in there and squeezed it, and it really didn't do too much. It's in there, but it didn't really do too much. So the second one, I countersunk the back a lot and then squeezed it, and I don't know if you can see, but it squeezed it right into that countersink and it worked out beautifully. So I'm going to do that on the two pieces, running front to back. I was going to run straight across to the side, but the drive shaft's in the way, the X member's in the way. There's a bunch of stuff just in the way that I wouldn't be able to make a regular brace like I use for the floor. So I got to do this, which will be fine. Some people literally just bolt seats to the sheet metal. I would never do that, but this gives it a little more strength than what's there. This is like 1/8 inch, something like that. So let me cut out two strips, drill the holes, countersink them, and put my little riv nuts, and then I'll be able to bolt the seat down. Then I'll go underneath and tack these pieces to the floor. Alright, so as you saw, I have been putting self-etch primer on all the bed metal that I'm not going to touch anymore. And this is a tight squeeze now. It's been raining on and off all day, so I kind of don't want this car outside. It's got no top. Alright, so I don't know if you can see from here. Yeah. Okay, so that section of holes is an 1/8 inch strip like that. Right now it's got a tech screw holding it there. I'm going to tack it in all those holes, and same on the other side, and that'll take the oil can out of that little area. And the back has some oil canning, but that is directly under the seat, and when you sit on the seat. So far it didn't do anything. It didn't make that odd noise, so I'm not going to do anything with that yet. Usually where that diagonal bead line is, kind of right there, there's like a piece of wood, at least on the 36s, that just literally just gets screwed to the bottom to keep it flat. So if anything, I'll do something like that, just with either steel or have him screw a piece of wood there. I'll show him exactly what it is. It's Really weird, but that's how they did it. So what I did there will at least help the oil canning from when you're sitting there and get your feet in front of the seat. Then I made those pieces there that you saw with the rivet nut insert thing, riv nut in it. That goes on the bottom. I still haven't welded it to the bottom yet. Who knows? I might even weld it to the top. That might make more sense to me. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. I think I'm gonna weld it to the top. So, let's see. So this hole and this hole, I will open it up bigger so the bottom of the nutsert will slip in to the floor. And then I will put a stitch weld, stitch weld, stitch weld, stitch weld, pretty much weld it all the way around so it's not going anywhere. And that makes it so it's really on a solid surface. And yeah, I don't know, I kind of like it on the top of the floor. It really makes no difference. So I'm going to do it on the top. Let's just weld it to the floor. And that might actually help some of the oil canning back there that we were talking about earlier. But it's getting late. Well, late in the day. I got some errands to run, so there's not much more I can do on this today. But I'll be back on it tomorrow, putting those plug welds in, welding the seat bracket nuts, stiffeners to the floor, and probably going out getting some paint. I got to strip and wire wheel, not really strip, but wire wheel all the bare metal that I have on the inside, and the passenger side I haven't done anything with, and get it in some self-etching primer like I have everything else. Just protect it from rusting. I know I have to paint over all my work, but I don't think it looks half bad in paint. You can't really, doesn't look, doesn't look that bad. I thought I was like, oh god, let me put it in paint and show all my flaws, but it wasn't that bad. It's not that bad. So, see you tomorrow. Alright, so we're back in here this morning, about to weld these rosettes for the braces, and weld and clear the paint off to weld those seat braces to the floor. And then we'll work backwards. I also remembered that I have to cut the fuel filler neck hole. That's why I kind of didn't weld this little piece up. It's like right in that area, so might not have to do that, or I might. Yeah, let's get going. we got the seat mounted. Obviously can't put the back on yet because the support for the back I had to take off, but everything seems to be all right. It moves the way it should. Not too bad. So let's cut out that gas fill. All right, so as you saw, I was just painting away. I took wire wheel and the Eastwood to some places that I needed to, you know. Painted everything that was bare metal or the rusty-ish primered floor. I hit again, blew that all out, then painted it. You know, just something to protect it before he does his thing or gets it painted or whatever. It protects it while he's doing his woodworking, because I had this moving blanket in the back, as you saw, just so I was thinking that it would protect it from rusting and while I put all my tools on it and used it. But actually, it trapped moisture and there was some surface rust starting on the floor. So I had to take care of that quick. You saw me with the Eastwood tool. So yeah, just gotta put some fenders on it now and roll it back in, put it in the corner, wait until Ken gets here and he can kind of look everything over and either take it back or tell me what to do. Alright, so here it is out in the sunlight. Wonder what? What a long ways it's come. I count on the come along. So it's going away. Ken is going to do some woodworking on the inside and the doors. Then it's going to come back for finishing touches, door gaps, all that stuff. Alright, so that's it for now. 37 is gone. Getting some woodwork done. Just waiting on the 36 Roadster to come back from the blasters. I'm going to start on that. 46 still here. Been assembling that lightly. But that was a journey. A lot of complicated pieces on that 37. A lot of first times. I'm proud of everything I did. And that is a stepping stone on my skills and my confidence with metal shaping. Next one will be even better, and so on and so forth. Thanks guys for hanging in there. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing the videos, telling your friends, just enjoying the content. Even if you learn something, even if you don't learn anything and you just like watching, I really appreciate it. So I will catch you guys on the next video. Thank you.